This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so actually in the previous session we saw how we can proceed from sales and distribution, considering the day-to-day business process, what can be possible in sales and distribution from order to invoice preparation. And there we have a customer who is linked to business partner. And for the business partner, we have got the contract account. So there's no need to maintain separate customer master record with the company code data. The customer number will be used for sales process like order, delivery, billing. But when we save the invoice, instead of posting it to customer account receivable, it will use the contract account which is maintained for the business partner and post into FICA. And then from FICA, we can post the we can post the invoice details to financial accounting. So this is what we did last time. Likewise, we'll see how to go ahead in the typical ISU environment, because actually we are working in ISU system, utility system, where FICA is our, basically the subject accounting system. So how actually in the case of the ISU system, we have the process. Okay. Now in ISU, we can consider process in two ways: invoice preparation with or without device management. Now with the device management, I have got a lot of business scenario. I can show it to you so that how we go ahead with the meter reading, billing, invoicing, and then posting into financial accounting, FICA basically. But you don't have to get into the module configuration because that will be done by the ISU consultant. So just we should be aware how the invoice is prepared, uh, starting from mid reading. So basically in ISU, we have a generic business process which is called meter reading to cash. It's called meter reading to cash. That means just like in SAP SD, we have got customer sales order to cash. Okay. So we say create a customer sales order and then continue till we enter incoming payment for the customer. Okay. That is customers to cash, what we call. But in case of IS, you call meter reading to cash. Okay. Basically, here we consider the starting business process is meter reading, and from then on we go ahead till the payment is collected. A continued chain of business process will be mapping, and then that also includes the FICA as well. Okay. So let me write down the whole business process in a typical utility industry with the meter device. We'll also see without device management, there could be also possibility of creating invoice. And without device, I'll show you the configuration steps also in ISU. Just in case you want to do settings anytime in later, we can also do it. It will not take much time. Maybe 1 day, 1.5 day, we should be able to cover. Okay. But entire meter into cache, I have the existing ISU where we have done configuration for so many divisions. We can run through the whole process and understand at what stage FICA will come into the picture. Okay. And then subsequent process, how can be done in the FICA. So that is what I want to show it to you. Now, in a typical ISU environment, we have certain important, uh, you know, the data objects. Okay. We have to know about them before we proceed with the process. Also, when you're doing the configuration, we need to understand what are these objects. Okay. As far as the master data is concerned, we have got two types of master data. One is business master data and other is the technical master data. In case of ISU, we have got two important master data categories: business master data and technical master data. In the business master data, we have got three entities. Okay, BP, which you know already, and then we have, and here we have got the contract account, and then we have got the contract. Okay, that means there are three important master data elements in the business master data: the business partner, contract account, and the contract. Now we know BP, we know the contract account, but what is the contract? Contract is a kind of an agreement between the business partner and utility company for providing the utility connection. Okay. Suppose there is a residential consumer staying in a particular apartment. Okay. And this particular individual business partner is availing connection for electricity. Okay. So basically, utility means a utility company is providing utility services. Like the particular company is providing electricity connection, water connection, gas connection. The gas means here cooking gas, what is used in the pipeline. So utility company primarily can provide three basic utility services: electricity, water, and gas. Now, the primary job of utility company is to distribute the electricity across the service area. Okay. Let's say city of Hyderabad, city of Mumbai. Okay. And in all these, cities, there are distribution companies like electricity distribution companies. They primarily what they do, they supply the electricity to the doorstep, whether the individual customer or whether it is a commercial entity or whether it is a industrial factory. Okay, the power is given to them at their doorstep. Okay, so we have the distribution lines which are running across the city, and from there we give the connection to the individual object, connection object. So what is the connection object? I will explain. So basically here electricity is given to me or some residential consumer. So every month we do some periodic activity. What are the activity? There will be a meter which is recording the electricity consumption in aggregated fashion. Okay, that means once the meter has been installed, it will keep on measuring the consumption on a continuous basis so that we understand what is the aggregated data, okay, at any given point of time. So for example, let us say we have got a meter, this month reading is showing 30,325. Okay. Now previous month meter reading was 29,200. Okay. So we come to know what is the consumption for the particular period. Okay. X is the quantity. This is the kilowatt hour. Okay, we say kilowatt hour. Like across the, worldwide, if you see electricity consumption is recording in kilowatt hour. Okay, kilowatt hour, 1 kilowatt hour is the basic unit for the measurement of consumption. So here it will come to something like 800 plus 325. That is approximately 1125 kilowatt hour has been consumed by the consumer. Okay. Then for this consumption, we will be levying certain charges. Okay. So basically, they will do a billing execution. So first metering will happen. We enter the result in the system. There will be validation. So the business process will start with create MR order. Okay, metering order. Metering order is created for the device. Based on this order, the meter reading person will basically go to the meter, collect the meter reading results from the site, and then we enter the MR result. That means metering results in the system. So system can validate, okay, whether this metering result entered is okay, acceptable, because there will be some tolerance values, okay. It cannot exceed more than the maximum value. It cannot be below minimum value. If it is so, then you have to investigate why the deviations are coming. So basically, there will be a kind of a validation what will happen in the system. And if the results entered are passed through the validation, they will be available for billing. Okay. So we start with creating metering order, enter the results in the system, then it will do validation. Validated results are passed on to billing. Now we execute a billing document. Okay. We execute a billing document. Now, what is the purpose of billing document? The billing document will determine billing line items. Each line item is a charge amount, what we are charging to consumer. Okay. Depending on the utility company, will be charging one or many line items to consumer, some total of which the consumer has to pay net value plus the taxes. Okay. That means basically billing document will determine what are the items to be billed, charge items to be billed to consumer. Okay. Like in telecom, when you prepare a billing document, you will have various billing items. Okay, talk time is so much, data usage is so much. Maybe you have taken public, IP rental for that so much amount. International calls may be measured separately for that. That is the amount. Okay, so like that, various charge items are calculated, and together when you add them, you get the total value. Okay. In billing document, tax will not be calculated in the ISU. It will calculate all the items other than the tax. Okay. So in a typical billing document, what are the items charged? Energy consumption value. Okay. How much is the energy consumption value? Now, in our case, suppose our consumption is 725 and per kilowatt hour, it is 10 rupees. Okay. So it is going to be 11250. That is the amount for the consumption. Then you are adding lump sum energy charges or standing energy charges. Okay. Whatever may be the consumption, we are going to charge you some fixed energy charges every month. Okay. Usually the charges are fixed based on the annual basis. You have to pay 6,000 rupees per year. On a pro rata billing, when you're doing, we will calculate for the particular period. Let's say for 6,000 rupees for 365 days, and here the consumption has been measured for 29 days. Accordingly, system will calculate the pro rata value. Let's say it comes to something like 500 rupees. Okay, this is the standing energy price. Then we might be adding some, device rental value. Okay, sometimes devices meter rental charges are added, which is maybe, let's say, 300. Okay, 300. And then you are adding, let us say, distribution charges. Okay, distribution charges. Like this, so many different types of, line items will be calculated. So the purpose of creating billing document is to estimate or basically find out how many line items are billable. This is called rate. Actually, the billing line items are determined through rate. Okay, one or many rates are used in the configuration, and each of the rate will contribute at least one charge calculation. Sometimes one rate is good enough, which may contain one or many steps of calculation, or sometimes because of technical reasons, we may use more than one rate. Okay. End of the day, various charge items are calculated, like distribution charge is coming to 250 rupees, like that. Okay. Then what is the total net value? Okay. It will simply add up this particular value. That is 11,250 plus 500. That is 11,750. Then 11,750 plus 250. That is 12,000. And then 12,300. This is the net value. Okay. Tax is not added here. So we execute a billing document, and again the billing document will be validated. Okay. Some internal validations will work. Whether this value is acceptable, is it more than the max value, less than minimum value? Okay. If it has passed through the validation, then it will go for invoicing. Okay. So billing is a separate activity. Invoicing is a separate activity. When you prepare invoicing, we prepare actually what is called a print document. Okay. The print document is nothing but a invoice. We can create different types of invoices in the ISU environment, like consumption-based billing invoices, budget billing, collective billing, cancellation of invoice, different types of invoices we can prepare. These are called print document. Whatever invoice we prepare, we print out and then send it to customer for the either payment collection or informing a credit memo. Okay. Let's say in this month, this is the amount you have to pay, 12,300 plus tax. Okay. So all the billing line items are moved into invoicing document. Plus it will also add what is the tax applicable. Let's say at the rate of 10% the tax. Okay. Then the tax will become to 1230. Okay. And what is the total amount? Total amount will be basically 12,300 plus 1230. That means 13,000 maybe 530. Okay. If we add it, 13,530. Yeah, approximately. So this is the amount what actually consumer has to pay for the consumption of electricity for the particular month, let us say October or November. Okay. Now, when you prepare the invoice is not directly posted to financial accounting, like in SD. Okay. If you're not using FICA, if you're using standard account receivable, the moment you create an invoice in sales and distribution, it will directly post the information to financial accounting, and accounting document will be posted. Okay. But wherever FICA we are using, we cannot directly hit the FICA financial accounting. We have to pass through the FICA module. Okay. So here, when you prepare invoicing document, which is called a print document, it will post a document in FICA. The FICA sub-ledger accounting document is posted. Okay. Like how we posted in sales and distribution, the invoice was prepared in SD, but when you saved it, it posted a document in FICA, a FICA document. Sorry. Again, at the end of the day, all the FICA documents which have been created are summarized. Again, there are two possibilities. Either you may be preparing contract account wise invoicing, that means like a single transaction, but mostly in the business process, we go for mass processing. Okay. That means at a time for 50,000 contract accounts, we will prepare the invoices. So 50,000 contract accounts means 50,000 invoices. They are all processed in the background, and it will create 50,000 FICA documents. For each invoice, one FICA document. So 50,000 invoices, 50,000 FICA documents, and system will automatically create one reconciliation key and then post everything into FICA. Automatically, it will also close the reconciliation key so that all these FICA documents are summarized for the GL items, and it will keep the consolidated aggregated data for GL items. Okay. That means you don't have to create a reconciliation key, you don't have to close it. All that is done by the system automatically when you're doing in the mass processing. But suppose for some reasons we create some invoices in a day manually, one after another. Okay. In that case, we can use one reconciliation key defined in the beginning of the day, and we keep on using it to prepare the invoice. But once all the invoices have been posted for the day, we close the reconciliation key manually and then keep the data aggregated for transferring the data to financial accounting. Okay, FICA. Okay. So basically from FICA to financial accounting, posting will happen. Okay. That means end of the day, either way, you got the reconciliation key closed. As a result, the consolidated data is finally sent to FI module and accounting document is prepared. Okay. So this will
Sir,
complete one cycle. Yeah,
in case when I talk about this telecoms solutions,
yeah.
here actually they run billing each and every day. So for
Every day,
example,
yes, yes.
each and every day they prepare invoice or something. There are two invoicing date fixed. One is I think first or second, and one is in 15th. So though for two bill cycle is there. So but
Hmm.
the billing run is done on daily basis because the
Yes,
customer
yes,
faces such.
yes,
So
yes.
how they make that invoice at the month end?
No, in the case of ISU, what they do, because since we are dealing with a large population of consumers, okay, let's say
Hmm.
it could be 10 millions, 5 millions, 20 millions, okay, depending on the area,
Hmm.
that many consumers are going to be billed every month. So it is very difficult to bill them end of the month, okay, at a time, all the consumers. So what utility company will do, they will say every day is a metering and billing activity and invoicing, okay. So what they do, they group certain installations on the contract accounts. These contract accounts have to be billed every month by first. Invoicing should be done by first, okay. Every month periodically, the invoice will be prepared on first and it is sent to consumer. Some consumers we prepare invoices on second, some we prepare on third, okay. So typically in a utility company, every day is a material billing and invoicing, so that we can cover the entire target of consumers. By planning in such a way, we schedule. Actually, we have scheduled record. We know each and every installation or a contract account when it will come up for billing and invoicing every month. Okay, so that will keep on happening periodically. Let's say, for example, I have electricity connection. So for me, I know every month around 8th or 9th metering will happen and invoice will be given. Okay. That means I can definitely wait by 10th meter reading would have happened, billing would have happened, invoice would have happened. But somebody else in some other area, for them it is happening around 15th. Somebody else is happening on 25th. Okay. So usually the date of billing and invoicing will be fixed for each and every contract account, and it is going to happen periodically. We schedule all this activity in the advance, in the advanced level, so that we can regularize them and streamline for monthly periodic activities of metering and billing. Okay, so that is a way how the utility company will operate actually. I mean, we cannot go
Uh,
on billing end of the month. We keep it every day like that.
the bill doc for a particular customer will be created on a particular date only, according to the business
Yes,
requirement.
exactly. So there are two parameters like scheduled master records. So if you see here, we have scheduled master record. We'll be creating two important records here. One is called portion and that is called meter reading unit. Okay. The portion will control end billing date for the contract, when the contract should be billed every month. Okay. But the billing activity is a function of meter reading. Okay. So once you fix the end billing date, we also come to know what is the date by which metering should happen. Okay. The end billing date and metering date are the same, but we schedule the metering activity. For example, here, if you take one of the metering unit, we have created so many, but if I create one metering unit here as S1, okay, suppose we take S1, this is a metering unit. Now it will have the scheduled records. You can create these records for minimum 2 years, current year, next year, but as such you can prepare the records for 7 years. Okay. So if I see here typical scheduled record for metering unit S1, it will show what are the dates of metering. Okay. So starting from 2017, first metering 30th of January, second metering 27th of February, 30th of March, 29th of April. That means we have maintained data here for year up to 2022, 2021. We have maintained up to 2022. Okay. Suppose my installation, I'm staying in an apartment. My installation has been assigned to this MRU. In this month, okay, that is 2019, the metering is supposed to happen on 29th of November. Okay. That means 29th of November, metering will happen and billing should happen by 30/11. That's the end billing date. Okay. So like this, we have the records available throughout the month. Okay. Some metering may happen on 29th, some may happen on 28th, some may happen on 27th, some may happen on 30th. Almost from 1st to 30th, every day we have the scheduled records available, and these are assigned to n number of installation. Usually what happens, one person in a day can read about 500 to 600 meters. Like in India, we go from meter to meter and then do the meter reading. So physically, when the person will go from 1 meter to another meter, that means from one building to another building, like that, if you see, in a span of 8 working hours, morning from 9 o'clock to till 6 or 7, you can say they can cover about 500 to 600 meters. But in some countries like US, the number is much more. It is around 800, 900. It also depends on the technology what you use for meter reading. Okay. Like here, we go to actually meter physically, stand in front of the meter, read the meter. Okay. But in some countries, what they do, they use a handheld device for meter reading. You can stand it from a remote distance, not too far away, in a close proximity to meter, send a signal to the meters, and then they will respond back with the data. Then automatically it is filled in the handheld device. The meter reading has happened. Okay. Or sometimes they use the automated meter reading through a van. Okay. Like a van is passing through the street and they carry certain instruments in the van. From there, they send the signal to the meters nearby. Automatically, it fetch. Okay. So that means depending on the type of meter reading, it can be 800 meters in a day, 2000 meters in a day, or 3000 meters in a day. So based on the kind of metering technology what we have, and then depending on that, you can fix how many meters can be read in a day. Okay. And that entire load is given to one MRU. That means one MRU is a you know group of several installations which will be read together. Okay. For example, if you see one of the installation here. Like installation means basically you can say it is like an apartment having electricity connection. That is the one installation. Okay. So if you see installation, like any of the installation, I will explain these parameters also so that you can understand what they are.
Sir, actually, what my doubt was that for a particular contract account, a billing document will be created once a month, or a billing document for a particular account. Multiple billing documents can be created for a particular contract account. Or what? Actually,
No,
here,
usually for a contract we do month. Actually, you see, it's called period of billing. Okay.
okay,
Most of the utility companies use periodical billing actually for household consumers every month. Okay. That means
okay,
every month you have to create a billing document and invoice. Okay. But it can be also bi-monthly, by once in 3 months. There may be some industrial units or commercial units. They may go for bi-monthly. That means once in 2 months. If you have done the billing in January, nothing in February, then in March, then nothing in April, then May. Okay. So you can
okay.
fix the period of billing. It's called period of billing. Monthly periodic billing means every month metering will happen, billing will happen, invoice will be prepared. You got the point?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Household consumers are coming in that fashion. Yeah. So basically, it is now, yeah, coming back to our discussion. So this is the total amount. We prepare the invoice, and then when you save it, it is posting a document in FICA. Then end of the day, all these FICA documents are consolidated and send it to FI, accounting document. That means once, I mean, there are two times when you hit the FICA and then the financial accounting. When you prepare invoice, you are hitting the FICA and then finally transferring it to financial accounting. Then consumer will make a payment. Okay, we record incoming payment. In FICA, we have got various possibilities of different types of incoming payments, which will be working, shortly after some time. So by some means, incoming payment will happen. Okay, by cash desk or by again in cash desk, it may be through cash or check deposit or credit card, or it can be through lot payment entry or payment run. Okay, but incoming payment will happen. We receive the payment from the contract account. We enter that information into incoming payment. When we enter the incoming payment, it will try to find out what are the items that can be cleared. Okay, so every FICA document is having certain open items. Okay, every open item is every in FICA document is having an open item. The BP items will be there. This contract account has to pay so much amount. Okay, for that consumer will make the payment. It may be full payment or partial payment, but we enter the incoming payment. When you post incoming payment, the clearing document is created. That means it will clear the one or many open documents. I mean, the receivables are cleared and the clearing document is posted in FICA. Again, end of the day, what we do, we consolidate all the clearing documents and then transfer to FI. Okay. That means there are two stages at which the postings are happening to FI. When you prepare invoice, that time FICA document created and then posted to finance accounting. Subsequently, when the payments are received, again FICA documents are posted. You consolidate those FICA documents, get the total value, and then transfer to FI. Okay. So this is when you put together the whole thing, it will become
I have
basically, yeah,
I have a question.
yeah, please, yeah.
Yeah, so when the incoming payments come in, what is it in the FICA document that matches in the billing document or the invoice that matches the incoming payment to that particular document, to that invoice, or to be able to clear it out? Is
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is this
yeah.
the contract number or the invoice number? What is it that
Yeah,
matches
yeah.
those payments together?
Actually, yeah, I'll tell you. Now you see, whenever you prepare any invoice, the invoice is posted into FICA. The FICA document is held at two levels, at the contract account level and at the BP level. Say for example, if I go to one of the invoice and then show it to you, display a print document for the contract account. contract account for the company code group. Let us say 3000. Let's say 5002 is a contract account. Okay, we may not have prepared the invoice. I will go through installation, so it will be easier. So go to ES31 and then find out installation for the division. Let's say EN1. Let us take one of the installation. Go to billing periods and then document. Now here you see on 1st of July we did the billing period started ending on 30th. We have created a billing document and invoice. 1116 is a billing document and invoice is 130. Let me select 130. Now 130 is the invoice prepared in ISU module, that is ISU solution. Corresponding to this invoice, the consumer has to pay 12,182. That is the amount they have to pay. Okay. Corresponding to this amount, there will be a FICA document. So if you go to document, it has created a corresponding FICA document as 116. Okay. Now this FICA document has got basically two level data. One is open item, summarized business partner item. Okay. That means this invoice what you prepared was posted to a contract account, which is basically 801, having a contract at 108. Okay. Now, sometimes one contract account may have one contract or more than one contract. Okay. But if it is so, then in the summarized business partner items, you can see for the same contract account, what are the contracts for them, what is the amount to be received. Okay. In this case, we can say this 12,182 is the amount you have to receive. This amount and the FICA document is held at two levels. It is held at the contract account level. It is also held at the business partner level. Okay. Now, the moment you prepare the invoice, a FICA document is posted, and an open item is created and posted to contract account. That means this contract account has to pay an amount of 12,182. Okay. Now let's go to the contract account 801 and then find out how this FICA document is reflected. So now I go to contract account 801, go to account balance display, FPL9. Okay. Account balance, contract account is 116. Show the open items. Okay. Open items means which have to be still cleared. Okay. For which payment has not been received. Okay. Contract account does not exist. Okay. Contract account is 801. Sorry. So FPL9 116 is a FICA document actually. So contract account is 801 and show the open items. Open items means which are still pending in the contract account, which they have to pay. Okay. Now here you can see 116 is the document which was debited on 30/07/2018. The amount to be received by the contract account is 12,182 and it is showing indicator it is overdue. That means the result of FICA document preparation is the moment to prepare invoice and save it, immediately system will create the open items for the contract account. Whatever the amount consumer has to pay, that amount is immediately debited to the contract account so that we know these are the amounts what you have to collect from the contract account. Now, when the incoming payment comes, we enter the incoming payment. That time we can select the open items what you want to clear, but actually we don't do so. We leave it to the system. We'll be configuring a clearing category and a clearing strategy. Okay. The moment you enter the amount incoming payment, it will automatically determine which open items can be cleared. Okay. For example, suppose if I try to go to payment entry, FPCD, cash desk payment entry, company code is, let us say, 3000 and contract account is 801. Value date is 25/11/2019. Reconciliation key is, let's say, LP1, currency INR, and then hit the button. It will determine the cash clearing account. Select the items. Okay. These are all the items which are available for the payment to be received. Now you can see here 116 is also shown here as a FICA document for which posting happened as 12,182. Okay. Now here we did not enter any incoming payment. We just went on clearing the invoices. But suppose if you want to clear this particular, document, then the amount to be cleared is 12,182. Okay. Either I can pay full 12,182 or partially. Okay. But actually here I'm doing selection manually. Okay. But we don't do this way. We actually allow the system to find out what are the open items to be clear. Suppose let's say customer is paying 20,000. Okay. 20,000 means I can clear this amount, I can clear this amount, I can clear this amount, okay? But system will propose which open items can be cleared. Accordingly, payment can be entered. Now, let us say I select this particular payment amount, 12,182. This is the amount what consumer is paying, let us assume, okay? Now, we will enter the payment received. Here, we are receiving payment by cash. You can also configure that this payment is paid by credit card or check payment, okay? Or sometimes payment is made in two parts. 12,182, customer is paying by cash, by credit card 10,000, balance is paying by cash. So all these permutations, combinations also possible. Now we are going to say post. So once you post, what will happen? The payment is entered against that open item. Okay. So account information not possible. We will see some pending customizing. Okay, this is for different contract account I entered. Company code is different. So 801 is a contract available in which particular contract account? Let me see 801. 801 is maintained in company code NNN, and 116, if I just go back to the FICA document, FPL9, 801, all the open items, 116. It is posted in tax data open item. It is posted in company code NNN 0100 02 108. Okay. So let me go to EK02 INT NNN N1 N1 0100 011 12 NT OB40, because we did some change in the tax. So INT ENT 1,75,000. Now again I go to FPCD. Company code is NNN and contract account 2511, reconciliation key, and then continue, and then select the items. 116 we want to pay. So 12,182 we are paying. This is the amount we are paying. So 12,182 post. Now the payment is posted. That means we received the payment. Now once the payment is received, what will happen to the open item? Earlier it is showing the document is open, but now it has been cleared. Okay. So if you go to FPL9, okay, and if you find out open item, 116 will not be shown here because we have cleared it. Okay. It will only show the items which are yet to be cleared, but we have cleared 116. It is not showing. But if we select all the items, then what will happen? It will show including open items as well as cleared items. Now 116 is the open item what we have cleared just now. It is showing the indicator receivable paid. Okay. And the amount what you received will be showing under the payment list, what payment we have received. We received payment today, 2511, 12,182. Okay. Now, this particular document, 116, will show what is the clearing document. If you go to clearing analysis, the document was cleared on so and so date by clearing document, which is basically amount is cleared, 12,182. And this is the clearing document. The payment entered is recorded through this particular clearing document, 10,223. Okay. So 12,182 is entered as the incoming payment. Okay. So at any given point of time, you can find out what are the open items and then make an entry and then clear. Here, of course, I selected the open item, but we'll be configuring, the clearing strategy. We don't have to manually select the open items. Based on a clearing strategy, it will select the items and then it will clear automatically. You got the point?
Yeah, so basically we can in the configuration we can configure it.
Yeah.
We can come up with a strategy, a clearing strategy, which might
Yes.
include
Yes. Yes.
contract number or
Yeah.
invoice
Yeah.
number, whatever we
Yes.
choose to
Yes.
use as the
Yes.
clearing
Yes.
strategy.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so this is how it is going to be in the actual business. So coming back to our discussion, so here the crucial aspect is here basically the configuration what normally SAP ISU consultant will do. They have to configure the master data, again technical master data, material reading, billing, invoicing, integration with FICA. These are the main areas of configuration what ISU consultant will do. But FICA consultant will take care of the account determination. That means if the billing line items are coming, how those items should be transferred to FICA. That is where FICA consultant will come, where you define the main transaction and sub-transaction, and you give it to the ISU consultant so that they can integrate in their rate. Okay. So I'll show you one example how we can do that configuration. We will play the role of an ISU consultant, even though you are a FICA consultant. Let's say temporarily today and tomorrow, we are also ISU consultant and FICA consultant. So how we can configure the whole thing so that, right from preparing the billing document in ISU, how it will move into the FICA level and how payment part, of course, we are going to see later, after this. So till FICA document is processed and posted, how it can be done through the ISU environment, like we have done in SD previously. And before that, we posted document directly in FICA. Okay, we posted receivable directly in FICA, then we have posted through SD. Now we are considering how we can post the invoice through ISU module. Now, in ISU environment, there are two important master data. One is business partner data, that is business master data, in which you have got two entities, business partner, contract account. Now we know both of them, okay? The third is a contract. Now contract is the most important object in ISU. The billing is called contract billing. In ISU, you can only bill if there's a contract. Otherwise, you cannot do any billing, okay? So contract is a prerequisite for doing the billing. Of course, then you prepare invoice and post to FICA. But the starting point for billing is unless you have a contract, you cannot do any billing. Okay. Now, what is this contract? Contract is the kind of a business agreement between the business partner and the utility company. Let's assume I'm a household consumer. I'm staying in a particular apartment and I'm getting the electricity connection. Okay. Now, I'll be having a business partner data in the SAP system. They will maintain a master record for me in the business partner. Then they will provide me a contract account, but the contract will be prepared when the move-in will happen. Okay, the contract is not something what you can create upfront. It is to be created in the background by the system when the move-in will happen. Okay, suppose I moved into an apartment on 1st of January 2019. So the utility company will record a move-in document, and once they enter all this data, the contract account number, installation number, system will automatically create a contract in the background. Okay, so that contract is the one which will come up for every month billing, the metering and billing. Okay, so contract is a kind of a agreement which is division specific. Okay, suppose let us assume I'm staying in an apartment and I'm availing all the three connections: electricity, gas, and water. Assuming that the same company is also providing all the three connections, then the company will be having three contracts with me. Okay, one for electricity, one for gas, one for water. So contracts are division specific. If I'm taking only electricity and water, that means I've got two contracts. Okay. The billing is contract specific. That means every month when the billing will happen, the billing document will be prepared separately for each contract. Electricity contract billing will happen separately. Water contract billing will happen separately. gas will happen separately. We cannot merge the three billing documents into one single billing document. While doing the billing activity, you can bill them, you have to bill them individually. Okay. Suppose, let's say, for example, I'm the business partner taking the electricity, water, and gas. Okay. I have a contract 100 for electricity. I executed the billing. Now, I'm a business partner. Suppose I'm presented in the system with a business partner number as 100. This is my BP number, and I've been given a contract account as 1000. This is my contract account. Okay. Now, using the same contract account, the system prepared three contracts. That means you can use the same contract account to prepare all the three contracts, or you can also prepare individual account, individual contract. Okay. That is, flexibility is there. That means using the same contract account, all the three contracts are prepared. One contract is 300, that is electricity. 301 is for gas, and 302 is for the water. Okay. So using the same contract account, that means this account will be used for preparing invoices subsequently. But while billing, we are doing the billing individually. Okay. So billing documents are created for 300, 301, 302 contract. Let's say billing document is 1000 here. It is 1001. It is 1002. Now comes the invoicing. At the time of invoicing, we require only contract account. Okay. Now I have got two possibilities. Using the contract account 1000, I can prepare an invoice for 1000 billing document. This is a billing document. These are billing documents. Okay. BDoc. There are two possibilities. Using contract account 1000, I can prepare one invoice for 1000 billing document, one more invoice for 1001 billing document, one more invoice for 1002. Okay. Individual billings convert into individual invoice. Or I can go for a joint invoicing, JI. Okay. That means if the contract account is same for all the three contracts, while preparing billing, you have no choice. You have to do individual billing. But at the time of invoice, what to do? I do joint invoicing. That means using the contract account 1000, system can prepare one single invoice, moving the billing line items from each of the contract. That means for the customer, we will provide only one invoice and total amount they have to pay. Okay. That is the understanding of the joint invoicing. But in some companies, they prefer to have individual invoices. Okay. Then each billing document will go to one invoice, and then three invoices are presented to the consumer, and they'll make the payment. Okay. Now, whether to do joint invoicing or not, again, is a matter of some additional factors, which will also determine that we will see during the discussion. Okay. But it is possible. That means at the time of billing, we have no choice. We have to bill them individually. We cannot merge the billing documents for all the contracts into one single billing. But at the time of invoicing, we have a flexibility. Either you can go for joint invoicing or you can go for individual. Okay. Then invoice is prepared and then the figure document is posted. Okay. So contract is the essence of the ISU. Without contract, we cannot do any billing. And naturally, when there's no billing, we cannot prepare any invoice. Okay. So business master data, there are three. Then you will be having some technical master data. Okay. What is technical master data? This is pertaining to the grid where the service is given, where the consumption is happening. Okay. We have four important objects in technical master data. One is called connection object. Then you have the premise, and then you have the installation and the device location. So these are technical names, but in reality, what are they? Simply, we can connect them with the real object. Connection object means the object which is receiving the connection. Let's say I'm staying in an apartment. Okay. So the whole apartment will be maintained in the system as a connection object. So connection object can be an individual apartment, individual house, apartment building. It can be commercial building. It can be factory. It can be a construction site. It can be airport. It can be a five-star hotel. Anything that receives a connection. Okay. Connection object is the object that receives a connection. It can be electricity, water, or gas. Now, what is a premise? It is an enclosed spatial arrangement within the connection object where the consumption is happening. Okay. Let's say connection object is an apartment building having 20 apartments. Okay. Each apartment will become a premise. That means the actual consumption of electricity is happening in the premise. Okay. 20 premises occupied by 20 business partners. Each of them have their own contract account and there's a contract for electricity. Okay, so connection object is the whole building. Premise is the part of the connection object where the partner is staying and the consumption is happening. Now, device location means a location within the connection object where we are putting the devices. Okay, in ISU, when you say device, it is a piece of equipment. In the plant maintenance, we have got the equipment, but device is a special equipment, which is ISU equipment. Typically, a device is a meter. Okay, but again, we say meter is a very generic term. The meter has to be electricity meter, a gas meter, or water meter. Okay, electricity meter means it can only read the electricity consumption. It cannot read the water. Okay, so that property will get assigned to the device automatically when you create the device. Okay, so device location is basically a location where technically all the devices are installed. Okay, let's say in this particular building in the ground floor there's a meter room. Okay, where we have put all the 20 meters, 20 premises, 20 meters. Okay, and also there's one more meter which is measuring the common area, consumption. For example, the corridor lights or building has got some street lights within the compound. So these are all paid by the housing society. Okay, that is measured separately. For that there is one separate meter. Okay, so basically 21 meters are there. 20 meters for 20 premises, one for the whole building itself, common area. Okay, so these 21 meters are called devices. They are installed in a location within the connection object. That's the device location. Now, what is the installation data? Is the data what you maintain for each premise for each division. Okay. Suppose I'm staying in a particular premise. My premise is getting three connections: electricity, water, and gas. So for each of the premise, there will be three installation data: one for electricity, one for water, one for the gas. So this installation will help us to map all the data, related data, like billing master data, schedule master data, device installation. So installation is the starting point in ISU based on which contract will be prepared. So when the move-in happens, it is the premise what comes into picture, and the installation of the premise will come into picture, and based on installation, the billing will happen. So how the installation will look like, I'll show you. From installation, we can, map everything, technical master data. Suppose I take a typical installation. Okay, let's say 110 is the installation. This 110 installation is created for premise number 95. Premise 95 is, let us say, basically is a apartment number. You can say that. Okay, and this particular premise has got an installation data 110 for gas. Okay, electricity. It is a basic electricity. Hyderabad gas is just to maintain the name of the city because we wanted to do some billing for gas. But here division is N1. Okay, that means premise 95 is having the installation 110 for the division N1. Currently, this premise has been occupied. Okay, that's why you are able to see business partner. In the particular premise 95, a partner is staying 130 number, and for that there's a contract. This contract we don't create. System will create when the move-in happened. Okay, that time the move-in happened. The move-in happened which date? We can find out from here. If you go to billing periods, some inconsistencies have come here because you change the data, but otherwise you can see some data here. Meter reading at the time of move-in. Okay, on 1st of July move-in happened. A contract was prepared. After that, we have done some meter readings. Okay, some aperiodic meter readings, control meter reading. That's why you will see a lot of meter reading here. But we'll take one more simple installation which will be easy to follow. Same division N1, if I take, let's say 92 is the installation. If I go to billing periods, okay, here you can see moving happened on 1st of August. At that time moving metering was 0. After 1 month, 30th of August, metering happened, it is 700. Okay, so this basically installation is, a place we integrate everything. Okay, but installation itself is specific to a division, that is division N1 for the premise 93. Now in the installation we store billing related data, billing class, rate category. These are coming from the billing master data. Okay, and MR unit. This MR unit will control periodically how metering will happen, on which date it can happen. Okay, Then whenever you do any process like meter reading, billing, invoicing, all the data is updated in the installation. So here you can see these are all the documents what we have prepared. Okay, for this particular installation billing document, we have prepared one billing document 1001 and invoice was prepared 114. Okay, we have done only one billing, we didn't do subsequently. We can take this for future billing exercise. Okay, so every document what you create for the installation is updated. So installation is like a backbone. Okay, now imagine the premise 93 is having connection for gas and water. Then how many installation will be there? Three will be there. 92 is for the gas, maybe 93 is for water, 94 is for the gas, water. Okay, that means each division will have a particular installation data, and for each installation there will be a contract. Okay, so this is how we can understand the technical master data. Now, when you are going to do the billing, what are the parameters you require? All the four technical parameters we require, we can create them. And business partner we already have, we can create a new one, contract account. But we require the billing module master data, billing class and rate category that we have to configure. Let us eliminate for time being the device management, okay? Because then you will be getting too much into ISU. Our focus will be shifted from the FICA. In reality, we don't do any of these activities. All these configurations are done by ISU consultant. We only come into the picture when the invoice is posted, okay? But for invoice posting, some integration has to happen in the billing with the FICA. That is where we have to understand the integration. Okay. But let's do the minimum process, whatever is possible, just like how we did in SD, so that we come to a level where you can prepare a billing document and prepare an invoice. But we'll prepare a billing document without the meter reading. We do directly a flat installation billing. Later, I'll show you with the existing configuration what I have for various division. We'll go through the whole cycle, right from creating metering order till posting into FICA and the payment collected. I'll show you one complete cycle itself, okay, that you can see how it will happen. But now, assuming that we have got a division, for division we have to do the billing configuration. Now, what is our division? If you go to IMG, we have created in enterprise structure a division. What is our division? It is 50. 50 is for electricity. If you go to division, definition, logistic general, define the division. Okay, define the division. Our division at the moment is 50. Okay, 55 is our division. So our entire billing master data, contract, billing execution will happen for 55 division, electricity division. Okay, so 55 is our division. Now we can build up some master data for billing purpose. Okay, it is called a rate structure. It's called rate structure. In the rate structure, the main job is to create a rate. Okay, what is rate? Rate will provide the billing line items. How many items you want to bill? So each item is given because of certain calculation. Okay, like energy amount, standing energy amount. Okay, device rental value, distribution charges, whatever you see here, these various charges calculation will happen. All these calculations can happen through one rate technically, but sometimes they do not happen. So what we do, we create more than one rate. Okay, let's say one rate will calculate consumption value, standing energy, and distribution charges. Another rate will calculate the device rental. Then both the rates we put into a schema. That means rate is a block which will do the determination of billing line items. Okay, but all the charges cannot be calculated through one rate. So what we do, because of technical reasons, we may have to create more than one rate. Okay, but once you create all the required rates, we put them into a schema. The schema groups together all the rates which are required for billing. Then that schema will be put into a rate category. Okay, and that rate category will go and sit in the installation. Okay, so these are the stages. So how are these line items calculated? Each of these line item is calculated through a program which is given by SAP called variant program. Okay, system has given various variant programs. Using those programs, you can calculate various line items. Okay, now if you want to do certain calculation, but if you don't have the variant program, then we have to do what is called the module program creation. Each variant program is a function module program. ABAP can develop a program and then you can use it as a variant program. Okay. But for day-to-day billing activity, internationally, whatever you see, SAP has given so many variant programs. They should work for us. Okay. Only in those cases where some calculations we want for which we have the no variant program, then ABAP can create. Okay. So all this billing master data will be done in the ISU, the configuration area. So let us go to the IMG, go to SAP Utilities, and then we have to select here contract billing master data. Now in billing master data, we have various parameters. We have to define all those parameters so that you can assign them together. Then the whole rate structure is ready. Okay. First, you have to define billing class. Billing class means it will group together n number of installations which will require the same billing methodology. Okay. Suppose I am staying in a particular apartment. It's an individual residential apartment having a electricity meter. Whatever logic is used for billing line items for me will be same for the next apartment because that is also residential. And that way, in all the 20 apartments in the same building will have their own installation. For all installation billing, the logic is same. Okay. That means you have to design the billing master data in such a way it will apply to n number of installation. In the complete apartment building, there are 20 apartments. For all of them, the same rule will apply. Like that, the next building. That means in the area, there are about 100 apartments, buildings are there. 100 into 20 apartment, if you take average, okay, we are talking about 2000 premises, okay. For 2000 premises, 2000 installation. But the billing logic is same for all of them. You can expand this logic to entire residential apartments in the whole city. Okay, there are 10 million installations which are all single, rate electricity meter for residential consumer. So for all of them, the billing logic is same. Okay, of course the quantity will vary, the prices may vary, but the logic by which you do the billing will be the same. Okay, so how will the system know these all billings have to be done by the same logic? So we create one billing class. In all these 10 million installations, we maintain one billing class. Based on billing class, system will know what is the rate category. The rate category controls the complete billing calculations. Okay. So first you have to create one billing class. Let's say new entry. Since you do everything with 5, we will say 555 is the residential, you know, residential consumers. Residential consumers. This is a billing class I have created. Then save it. Now I have to create what you call rate structure. In the rate structure, we have to create something called a rate type. I'll explain you what is rate type. Then we have to create a rate actually. For creating the rate, we require the variant program. Okay. Now SAP has given various variant program. Like for example, Quanti01 is a variant program which will help us to calculate the energy amount. Now, for example, here you are calculating energy consumption value for which there are two variables. This is one variable, this is another variable, this is a third variable. Okay. These variables in SAP utility, we call them as